In the second step, we will create a motivational mock-up. Motivational mock-ups have the purpose to create a good experience for the patient, not only showing the advantage of an aesthetic treatment and giving the patient the feeling of a new smile, but also finding out her or his expectations regarding the shape of the teeth. Some like pointy canines, some flat, some like square embrasures, some round. The motivational mock-up is a beautiful way of communication, feedback, and also analysis of the case in the process of treatment planning. In the first screen, we calibrate the model frontally. We define the occlusal curve following the patient's arch. The motivational mock-up is an additive design, so the occlusal curve has to be set a little over the incisor edges buccally. You can use the tools to adjust the position of the model. The symmetry button allows you to set the curve symmetrically. If your patient has an asymmetrical arch, you can turn the symmetry off and adjust the right and left side differently. The 3D smile frame is created and you need to adjust the height and the occlusal angulation. You can also move the midline if a correction is needed. The smile frame is the reference for the 3D teeth templates to be placed in the correct position in the correct size. It's a shortcut to a better starting point in the design process. Select from the option menu what kind of design you want to start. In our case, we select the social smile template, which include the templates from canine to canine. Now the width of the teeth are defined by the green lines. Adjust the width using the sliders. You can also turn the symmetry option off by clicking on the link icon next to the title. To adjust the width for the canines and laterals differently, the centrals will always have the same height and width. In the 3D design screen, we start with 4 views. Seeing the design from different angulations helps designing easier and faster. The overview is important to analyze the position of every tooth and correcting if necessary. Top left, you have the option to select the workflow. In our case, we select MockUp. It's a guided workflow that helps you proceeding with the design, following certain steps and optimizing the designing time. The first step is templates. Now we can analyze the form of the templates. It's also a visual way to communicate with your patient and find out her or his preferences. You have all options: oval, round, and triangle form, open-closed embrasures, round or square incisor edges, and flat or round buccal surfaces. The second step is tools. You can now adjust the design using the position, rotation, and size buttons. Also, you can reflect a size from one side to the other to make sure your teeth have more or less the same size. Use the controls and adjust and finalize your design. Make sure that your design covers patient's teeth. Also pay attention to the gingival margins. Your design should be embedded in patient's gingival margins. You can design over the gingival margins only if you want to visualize a gingivectomy or a crown lengthening treatment plan. In that case, a DICOM file would be ideal to analyze the bone margin and to design and plan the biological width. In our case, we will focus only on the motivational design. If the lip margin is not accurate, you can use in the Tools section the slider lip line and readjust the lip. The purpose here is to have the design in the mouth, and use facial analysis also as a part of the design process. The zenith analysis. Set the points at the highest point of the gingiva for the canines, laterals, and centrals. The triangles formed should be as similar as possible considering the distance between the zenith of the centrals, laterals, and canines, but also the angulations between these lines. A harmonic smile is considered a smile that has a certain symmetry regarding the gingival margins. Avoid to design over gingival recessions. Gingival recessions have to be treated and not covered by veneers. You can use the reference lines to analyze the position and length of the teeth, position in the face. All corrections have to be also checked in the face, not only on the model. Facially driven smile design considers the harmony of the face in the process. The new smile curve has to follow the lower lip. The angulation of the occlusal plane has also to follow the facial flow and cannot be against it. The most important aspect is to find the balance between the symmetry of the smile on the model and the asymmetry of the face, and create harmony in the face. The tools in the smile analysis options are powered by AI and help you making decisions in the design process regarding axial angulations, zenith and gingiva analysis, facial flow, size, and measurements. SmileFy analyzes the axial angulation of the design and shows you the values. You can correct the angulations by selecting the tooth that has to be corrected, and by clicking Reflect Angulation. You can balance out the axial angulations of the canines, centrals, or laterals and correct the design in a very accurate way. The ratio analysis shows you the relationship between the height and width of the centrals. If you want to design the most harmonic ratio, you set the box to 80% and readjust the centrals so that they fit in that ratio. Now you can add measurements. These technical details are important for the treatment plan. The fourth step is the mesh editor. The mesh editor is a feature that allows you to use tools that transform the solid tooth template into a liquid. With the brushes you can adjust several steps. Delete from the palatal area the visible design, adjust the gingival margins. When the design is only over the buccal surface of the patient's teeth, the mock-up will give the patient a natural feeling of veneers and a beautiful experience of his new smile. The mesh editor is a powerful tool that preserves the natural morphology of the teeth. Nevertheless, use it minimally and with care. Liquify is a unique feature that deforms the templates in a very accurate and precise way. When you select a tooth, you can modify the surface by moving the points and adjusting the very small details of the smile. At the end, we AI analyze the interproximal contacts and correct. In the last step, we quality control our design in the face, make corrections if necessary, and create the mockup by selecting CAD features and mockup. With one click, we unify all 3D layers and create one model. The model has to be printed. We have to close the mesh and create a base. In the Digital Edit section, you find the feature Close Mesh. You can save the project. When you click on the next screen button, SmileFy leads you to the before and after screen, where the patient can compare the initial situation with the new smile. In case management, you have the option Export. Select the version of your project, in our case version 2, and wait until the project files open. Select in the pop-up the option Select Files, and select your closed mesh mockup. Click Export. Now your model is ready to be sent to the printer. If you select all files, you can export the entire project. Original intraoral scan, design teeth, mockup model, open and close mesh, and the patient's picture.